How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Story of the Fight listeners? What's up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Merab. That's my boy, Will. This is where we cover all things mixed martial arts. Today, we're going to be covering UFC 298. We're also going to be covering One Fight Night 19. So a lot to cover today. But before we do, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know, it goes a long way, you know, so whenever you're able to go through and yeah, there we go. We celebrate real quick. Every time we get a new subscriber, it's a celebration up in here. You know what I mean?
Speaking of subscribers, speaking of who we just had on screen, let's get those balloons ready again because we want to give a shout out really quick at the top of the show to Regen for winning the belt for his predictions. Shout out Regen. Winning the belt. Look at him.
Dude, sporting the Story of the Fight shirt, having the Story of the Fight belt. I mean, the 2023 champ is here, you know?
Champ is here, dude. What's more impressive, this or Ilia? Huh?
Oh, this, 100%.
Come on.
Ilia was one victory. Regen, in a way, had multiple to get the belt, you know? Yeah. So definitely more impressive. But yeah, so welcome, everybody. Again, we're going to be covering those two events. And I guess we can go and get started. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, like, subscribe, go to storyofthefight.com. You can get that sweet shirt that Regen was wearing. You can get that sweet hoodie that Ramiro is wearing. The beanie someday soon. But let's just talk about the fight. Storyofthefight.com. Click through, subscribe, follow on everything. I am, despite almost going to bed with tears in my eyes, I'm in a good mood because it finally felt like a good, solid UFC event that had effort put into it. And I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about these fights. The whole reason we started this show, lately I've been a curmudgeon. I've been trying to be positive, right? Talking about fights. And it just takes good events to get me happy and hyped to talk about them. Here I am. Let's go. I'm excited
man. So about this. We had the main event. We had Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. This is actually when we say that we were looking forward to this main event. People were chomping at the bit. We're being serious this time. Like we 100%. Have one of the up and coming fighters, undefeated, right? In Ilia Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski, somebody that a lot of people considered somebody that was one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. He had a couple of losses, but only stepping up into the lightweight division, trying to reach greatness, trying to achieve greatness.
One of them on short notice.
Yeah, came up a little short, but had never lost in this division.
No.
Had never lost in this division. So you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, my goodness. People talking about Volkanovski's age, so much so that he had to bust out the joke. And, you know, he had that one commercial that was hilarious where he's dressed like an old man doing old man things. He walks out in the press conference in that old man getup. Man. All right, let's talk about the fight, I guess.
Yeah, so early on, look, we both predicted Volk to win, but it's not like we didn't think Topuria had a chance. It's still like a very close fight, right? We just both happened to pick Volk. And the reason being was Volk's so good with his leg kicks. And shout out to Jack Slack. He posted a super good article about Topuria's V-stepping and shoulder rolls. That's a good read or listen that you should check out. But one of the things he talks about is when someone fights behind their lead shoulder so much, like Topuria does, especially against Josh Emmett, and it's like, was that just for Josh Emmett, or is that also going to be against Volk? Because if it's against Volk, the low kick, the outside low kick is money, and the open side high kick like this is also money, right? That's the two things you want to do. And Volkanovski clearly knew that because he opened up the first round just like open side body kick, open side head kick, just over and over and over again. Step up inside leg kick off the lead leg. I wasn't a big fan of that against someone like Topuria because you're really setting up the right hand for him by doing that. I would have liked to see more outside leg kicks because he plants so heavy on that lead leg that an open or the closed side, the outside leg kick is really debilitating against someone like Topuria. And you saw it a little bit, but not as much as I wish. But that first round was kind of just like, you know, open side high kicks from Volk that were all blocked really well by Topuria. low kicks from Topuria that looked really good. The calf kick worked immediately. Like 2 kicks in, you can see a massive welt on Volkanovski's calf. And then really, I thought Volk kind of picked it up towards the end of that round and won the round. All 3 judges gave him the first round. How did you score that first round?
Man, that first round I gave to Volk.
Yeah.
And it almost seemed like Topuria was holding back a little bit in trying to pick up on what Volk was doing and trying to understand his game plan a little bit and kind of strategizing on how it is they can close the distance. One of the things that he mentioned afterwards was he had to extend his combinations. He just had to keep on throwing punches to close that distance, which we ended up seeing later on in the fight. But then he also started picking up on the fact that when he would come in with a 2-punch combo, he would just skip back, head high, and then he would circle out more often to his left, right?
Yeah.
And so he'd come back in, throw a leg kick. Topuria would throw a little combo. Same thing, you move back, circle out to his left, and then reset. Very good read by Topuria later on as the fight went on.
Yeah, and Topuria is so good at here's him leaning back kind of and getting caught. But Topuria, if you watch the Emmett fight, like he does such a good job of, and again in that Jack Slack article where he attacks, and when he stops attacking, instead of going straight back to reset into his stance, he either pivots and swings around his left to exit out on that angle, which is why the outside leg kick works so well, or he'll shuffle and exit on the right angle. And that is perfect for Volkanovski circling to his left. Because if I circle away from you to your left and you're exiting your combo by shuffling to your right, you've now just cut me off. So if you're there for it, which Topuria did such a good job of throwing his power shots but not leaving his stance. He stays over his feet really well. And that allowed him eventually in the second round to stay with him and land those extended combinations. Because it's one thing to say, like, I need to extend my combinations, right? But it's another thing to be able to be composed in long combinations while somebody's exiting. That's hard to do. It's hard to follow somebody and continue throwing without just reaching for your punches, right? Which is when you get countered like Verdum versus Stipe or something like that,
Yep.
Topuria's ability to stay in his stance, to shuffle to his right, to cut off the cage when Volk thinks they're about to enter a clinch situation against the fence. He caught Volk reaching for the plum clinch, and he just sneaks that overhand right, dude. Oh my God. Because like you said, he pushes him up against the fence with a combination, right? And then he steps over to the side to land that big right hand over the top. I guess it was more of a hook, but it was like a rear, so I guess it was overhand. But just so good, so good.
Yeah.
Ganskow
Really
says, I had a ton of people over to watch the fights. I was the lone Ilia supporter. Feels good. I just can't root against Volk. I just can't.
It's tough.
Because look, I'm not a huge fan of Ilia's antics outside of the cage. I don't think he's being himself, really. I think he's trying to be somebody else. But in the cage, his performances, how can you not be a fan of his fighting style, So it's not like he's such a good fighter. And I kind of liked his just look at Volk just out cold, falling down, looking somewhere else. Looking back to that short notice.
Yeah, his eyes are open, but
the
light's not on,
Yeah, no, he's back in that decision-making process, wishing he didn't take that second Islam fight. But I liked Ilia's reaction a lot to the knockout, because once he knocks him out, he puts him out, and you see him as he walks away, the reality sets in, and there's no more of that bravado. You can't in that moment, it's too overwhelming to fake that. I knew this was going to happen. I was confident. I said I was going to knock him out. This isn't a surprise to me. You see for 3 seconds him realizing what the fuck just happened, and it's that's the Topuria I want to get behind. I want to see more of the real dude. Obviously, it's the fight promotion, you got to sell the fights, all that stuff, but it was cool to see someone achieve their goals at the highest level. It sucks that it's Volk that has to get knocked out cold for it. Brutal, dude.
I mean, it has to happen with all of our favorite champions at some point in time if they end up sticking around, right? He's 35 years old now. You had talked about that stat. What was it? 25-1?
2-23 for in UFC
223,
history,
that's what it was.
champions or in championship bouts, 35-year-olds and above in championship bouts at welterweight and below are 2-23 in championship fights. Now they're 2-24. That is
insane,
a crazy
man.
stat.
That's a crazy stat. These young lions coming in, man, and
especially the lower weight classes, right? Youth is a massive weapon.
My only thing with Topuria, right? And I'm sure you've probably seen the comparisons between like his tattoos with McGregor's, you know, like him stealing the belt is like exactly the same thing. You know, the post-fight interview where he's like, look at me now. Look at me now. And I'm like, that's literally Leon Edwards' post-fight speech a few months ago.
Just be yourself,
you
man.
know, he busted out every cliche under the sun. You know, he's like, if you want to do it, you could do it. And I'm just like, dude, just like you said, just be you, man. Yeah. Like, just let yourself come out. Like, he's probably gonna be a great champion for a while, man. He's 15-0. He has all the skill sets in the world to have him defend that belt for years to come.
Well, he's going to be a champion for a long time because he already said that he's not going to give a title shot to any of the actual contenders. So how is he going to lose it?
That is true. That is very true. It's like that meme. He's like, how can you lose a belt if you don't fight anybody?
The Conor method, dude.
But again, when it comes to the skill set, the power, he showed some fantastic fight IQ last night. He's a real deal, man. He's the real deal.
Sure the real deal. This is not like a fluke or anything. And I see people saying like, oh, Islam cracked Volkanovski's chin. He can't take a shot anymore. And it's like, who takes that shot? Who takes that punch and doesn't go out? Nobody.
That's such a hard shot, man. Right on the chin, right on the button, man.
Yeah, that's not about someone not having a chin anymore. That's just he ate a semi-truck to the face, dude. Like,
yeah, someone say a small Ford Escort.
Next. A small Ford Escort, yeah. What's a Spanish car? I don't know any Spanish car brands up top of my head.
Dude, maybe a Fiat?
I think that's Italian, right?
Italian?
Are there any what's the Georgian car brand?
I don't think they have any. Yeah.
Gansko says Max versus Ilia next. That's what I want to see. We'll see how Max looks after the beatdown that Gaethje puts on him at UFC 300. He might not be the same Max after that. It's gonna be tough.
You have to do a rematch, right?
But there's some fun stuff. I think they will eventually do the rematch, Volkanovski versus Ilia. But I think Topuria probably. I don't think it's immediate. I think Volk needs to take time off. Topuria's fresh. Get him a title defense before he fights Volk again. Maybe. We got Evloev. We got Yair versus Ortega soon. I think next week or the week after. And then, the winner of that. If it's crazy that Ortega might get a title shot off of that, even though he doesn't have a win over a current UFC fighter. But but then we have Arnold Allen, which I think is a very fun matchup for Topuria because he can defend the takedowns. It's just there's some fun stuff at featherweight. Anytime a dominant champ loses, it's like, whoa, here we go. This might be crazy.
Man. Everything starts going like crazy for sure, and that's what makes the sport so exciting too, man.
Yeah, and depressing as fuck because you watch your heroes get knocked out.
Regen says, I don't want to see Volk go out on several KO losses. I agree, man.
He's already got a couple, and that sucks.
I agree.
That already sucks.
All right. Congratulations, Ilia Topuria, Alexander the Great, Volkanovski the Great. Absolutely one of the best featherweights to ever do it. Now, a few times I heard the consensus around Alexander Volkanovski being the best featherweight ever.
Well, that's the UFC consensus, which we know is just about who they're hyping up now, right? They were trying to say Tyron Woodley was the greatest welterweight. Come on.
I don't know about that, but all right.
No.
Whew. Let's you want to move on to the co-main event? All right. We had your boy, Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa.
Banger.
So we both picked this one, right?
Yeah, we did.
We both picked this one right now. It was close. For a second, I was like, oh, no.
Once it got to decision, I was like, that's easy decision. I see some people saying it's a robbery. That's crazy to me. I thought it was a clear decision win for Whittaker. That being said, that does not mean that it was not a close fight for every single second of that fight. It seemed like at any moment, Paulo could land something because Whittaker was, picking his shots. Paulo was landing good shots as well. I think people have kind of written off Paulo as this berserker who just walks forward and isn't an intelligent fighter. but he had a very good performance against Whittaker. It's just that
Dude,
Whittaker is an all-time great as well. So like,
it was a reminder of just
yeah,
how dangerous Paulo Costa is, how
but
fun he is to watch fight.
yeah, but not just like the brawler that everybody thinks he's great calf kicks. The lead leg high kick
Oh,
was
the head
so
kick. Oh my
fast.
God.
Like, I mean, he just looked very skilled in there. It wasn't just a bully. Everybody used to think he's just a bully. He's just a bully. He's not, dude. He's very good. It's just we don't get to see him that often anymore. But Whittaker also had just a fantastic game plan and you could tell like his jab was on point. The overhand right to the left shovel hook after the overhand right was awesome. The
So
jab
good.
to lead left hook, the double up on it was awesome. The calf kick was fantastic. It was just a super good fight.
Shout out Wondergirl.
Wondergirl says, Internet is telling me the most popular cars in Georgia are the Opel Astra and the Vectra, as well as the Mercedes E and C class. So Volk are one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, he ate one of those. Yeah, probably. I would say it was probably more like a Vectra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a Vectra.
I hit by that
was a
Vectra.
Vectra.
Right on the chin.
Actually, you know
Right
what?
on
That's
the
the Opel Astra. I like that. But
I've never even seen one of those cars. Like if I were to see a picture, I wouldn't say like, oh, that's an Opel
it's
Astra.
Opel Astra. Yeah.
So funny.
But this fight, I mean, the first round, they're trading low kicks. The high kick, immediately, Paulo lands the first high kick he throws on that lead leg. And you're like, holy shit, what is Robert Whittaker made of? That's another guy. Everybody's saying, he's got a glass chin. He's got a glass chin. And it's like, what? The guy has eaten some bombs and he stays in the fight. Sometimes he gets hurt by them, yeah, but he still has a granite chin. Anybody who eats this wheel kick has a granite chin. And how about this? Thank you, Paulo Costa, for posting it on your Instagram so that we can show it and not get flagged by the UFC. Let's just watch the high kick, huh? Let's watch the high kick. Or the wheel kick.
Paulo is a real one, dude.
Yeah. Get ready. Oh
my God. On skates right after.
And Whittaker's throwing punches back.
And look,
and that's the end of the round.
Fine. I'm sure he's dazed still at that point, but he just walked back to the corner without a problem.
Yeah, and look, we've seen this. Reminded me of the Yoel Wars, the Whittaker Yoel. You remember that shit where it was Whittaker just really landing just beautiful technique, the 1-2 high kick, which we saw once again back in this fight, his signature combo. But there's moments where he gets caught with something huge and he's wobbly, but he stays in it, and sometimes he doesn't. Right when he got dropped by Dricus, it seemed like one of those moments, but then he ended up folding eventually. But sometimes he sticks through it, man, and you just remember that Whittaker's a fucking dog in there, dude. Like look, his era of middleweight was the shakeup era after Anderson, right? Because Weidman took the belt. There was the Rockhold stuff. There's Whittaker, and Whittaker was the only guy who was actually fighting the monsters, because Bisping got the belt from Rockhold, and they're like, he needs to fight Yoel, he needs to fight Jacare, he needs to fight Whittaker, he needs to fight these killers. But he didn't. He fought 50-year-old Dan Henderson and still almost got nuked. And then he fought GSP coming back out of retirement. And so it's like, but during that time, Whittaker was fighting those guys and going into dogfights with them, the scariest guys in arguably the scariest division at the time, and was just fucking lining him up and knocking him down, dude. Fucking, I love Whittaker, dude. And he's just such a humble guy. These guys went to war, dude. These guys were trading.
It was a fantastic fight, and it was a great fight leading us into the main event.
Yeah.
It was a great fight to go after Garry versus Neal, which was kind of like a palate cleanser. But the other thing is, you see, like in the second round and really throughout the entire fight, when Whittaker would land something solid, Paulo Costa would stick his tongue out or like come on,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, dude, I love this stuff. But in the third round, I don't know if you noticed, like any little movement that Whittaker would throw, like all the small feints, Costa had the biggest reactions in the world to it. And I was like, dude, you can stick your tongue out all you want. You can point at the ground. You can wave him over. But, dude, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, no. Like, every time he threw a feint, man.
Yeah, and what's funny, this picture, he goes like, all right, let's throw down. Let's throw some combos, huh? And then he's like, but I'm going to counter. So, like, I'm not going to initiate that. It's so funny,
So funny.
dude.
And smart from Whittaker, because all the times that he was waving him on, and pointing at the ground, he never, went
Didn't
all crazy
engage.
at him. Nah, he didn't
Yeah.
engage. He was like, I know
And-
exactly what you're trying to do, sucker.
And that's kind of the story of the fight, huh? Show off that hoodie.
Right
Let
here.
me see that hoodie. The story of the
Look
fight
at this
was
story of the fight.
the fact that Paulo was able to land those wheel kicks, the lead leg high kick off, no telegraph, just so fast. That works because there's no tell, right? So if he started working feints in, then you're like, oh shit, you have to react. When he's there's no load up on stuff, you have to react on first movement, otherwise you're gonna get caught. So that makes your feint so much stronger, because then you have to bite on the feints, because since there's no telegraph, that could be the strike, that could be the high kick. You have to bite on the feint. But then Paulo was just not feinting the whole fight, barely threw any feints. And it's like, dude, when you have that fast twitch style like that, the feints could be your best weapon, because you feint him out of your shoes, and then you can land a high kick. And he just didn't. And Whittaker was feinting a ton, and Paulo, like you said, was biting on it. And Ganscott says the tongue out usually means you're losing. Yoel did it to Paulo. I believe Mayra Buena Silva versus Manon Fiorot also, because that's a fight that sticks in everybody's memory. But that's what happens, right? You have to resort to try to taunt and turn it into a brawl, because you might say my power for power is going to land. But the judges see that too. And I always remember Bobby Green versus Fiziev, I think it was, where every time he would get hit with something, he would do something to acknowledge it. But what he was doing was saying like, oh, that was nothing. That was nothing. He was like brushing his shoulders off, or like whatever, right? Like shrugging it off. But one of the judges came out and said after the fact that he's like, every time he got hit, it drew a reaction out of him. So it must be, it's making a reaction. If he no-sells it, then maybe we don't give it as much merit. But when you react every time, it backfired. And you could argue that shouldn't be the case for the judging criteria, but it might be for some of the judges. So you might as well just not do it. Sometimes it pays off, though. Sometimes if you're Mike Breed and you start barking at a dude, and all of a sudden you knock him out. But,
Yeah, but that's not so much for the judges. That's like to throw your opponent off, right?
But that's why you're doing it in the first place, right? You're not doing it to dissuade the judges. You're doing it to get that guy pissed off and turn it into a brawl. So
I guess, yeah,
power
that's
shot.
a good point. Yeah.
But if you don't get it, yeah. Whittaker's like, dude, I've been in here with some dogs. I don't give a fuck about that, dude. I'm not brawling with you.
Yeah.
I think he proceeds to
good
brawl.
fight though, man. What a fantastic
Very good fight.
All right.
Fight of the night should have been maybe.
Maybe.
I think so.
We'll talk about the other one that did get fight of the night later on down the road. A little teaser there. All right. We can move on to the fight that was not fight of the night. We had Ian Machado Garry versus Geoff Neal. So we both called Ian Machado Garry to be victorious in this fight, and we were both right. Now, what I didn't know is that we were going to witness some of the best point fighting that we've ever seen before in MMA.
We made that little quick video, and the first time we recorded it, we went over 60 seconds. But one of the things that I said in it that I ended up cutting out because we needed to make it 60 seconds was that Geoff Neal refuses to cut off the cage, and he will not cut off the cage in this fight. And Machado Garry will start landing on him and make him follow him. And eventually it will lead into some big counters. It didn't quite lead into big counters, but Geoff Neal certainly did not cut off the cage at any point in this fight. It is very frustrating to watch because I like Geoff Neal. And he hits so hard. But if you're not going to stand in front of him, he's like, what do I do? And it's so frustrating because when he is in a banger, it's fucking awesome. And I love him. But it's really frustrating to see somebody just follow, and eventually start putting your hands down and walking towards the guy. And it's like, I get you're frustrated, but like, that's on you. You should be frustrated with yourself.
And when we say like, that Ian Machado Garry was circling the cage. I mean, he was circling the cage, like high speed shuffling, and he ended up like 180 degrees all the way around, turns around sometimes and walks over and then turns back around.
Just
man, it was
really cool read by him though. To sometimes you can pull counter with just your head movement, right? Where someone will throw something at you, you slip back, and then you come back and crack them as they're retreating. But then there's also counters where you can funnel them in with your footwork, right? And that's what he was trying to do the whole time. And there was a lot of times where if you're circling that whole time, you know your opponent is just walking forward the whole entire time. So at any moment you decide to go forward, you're going to crash with them, and that adds impact to your strikes, right? And I thought the read to throw the rear knee up the middle and then follow it with the same side right hand immediately after, fantastic combination that you don't see a ton of times. I think that's what Arman Saryukin got Beneil Dariush with. It's a cool combo because you most of the time people don't follow up a knee with the same side punch. So you eat the knee, or you block the knee, or you evade the knee, and you're like, I'm good. And then you go to reset, and the right hand's right behind it.
Yeah.
And that's a very cool combination that Ian was landing throughout the fight. But that's pretty much the only significant thing of the entire fight.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then, man, did you notice that they did a cut to his wife a couple times?
Yeah, the broadcast knows what they're doing, dude. Come on.
Oh, knows exactly what they're doing.
While they're booing him after the fight, they cut to her.
Make sure you keep a camera on his wife, because that's where the story is right now.
Yeah, that's the real story of the fight, huh?
And dude, I think I texted you afterwards too, right? Like going into the main event, you know, where they're usually like, so-and-so joining us for today's fight. You know, we have the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, and like we have Sean Merriman, and like Sean Merriman's like draped over this girl, you know, like hugging her, and he looks over and he's like, "What's up?" And I was like, pretty sure that was Gary's wife, dude. No, what do you mean how dare me? Like it was literally on camera. It was caught on camera, and I was like, "Oh, the work never stops." It never stops. But yeah, fantastic knees. Fantastic knees from Ian Machado, Garry.
Yeah, walkout song. You know, he walks out to Layla, which obviously is funny because the wife, that's her name, right? But he walked out to the bad part of Layla. I don't like that first half of Layla. It's all right, I guess. But the cool part of Layla is the second half where it switches with the keyboard. And
sorry, I gotta jump in. The first half is fantastic. There's a reason why it's played and everything. But the second half is also
my balls.
Classic because of Goodfellas.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
I get it. You know, we got to reference Goodfellas. It's fantastic, but the first half.
We got to get a movie reference at least once, and it has to be Goodfellas. Back-to-back weeks, Goodfellas reference. But the montage of Goodfellas when everybody's getting whacked, you know, it's the second half of Layla, and it's so good with the piano. First half is just Eric Clapton jerking himself off because he thinks he's so good. He is mid.
I'll go back and I'll listen to Layla. I didn't know this was going to be a hot topic conversation. Ganskow saying, I heard they cut out the audio from the crowd chants. I wonder what they were chanting.
No way. Dude, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious. That is pretty funny. All right. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. We'll go on. We had Mr. Merab Dvalishvili versus Henry Cejudo. Now, this is another really good fight. This is a fight that I was really looking forward to. Henry Cejudo going into this. And look, it makes sense, right? He's like, I'm not in this to just have these top 5 contender fights. Like, I'm in this to win the title.
Especially when you see that Mackenzie Dern is making more money than him per fight.
George saying, Will beefing with Clapton? The beef is real,
Clapton
dude.
Sucks. Clapton sucks.
But yes, so look, we all know about Henry Cejudo's like antics going in. You didn't really see it that much this time. I did think it was hilarious how he fired his coach.
And then brought him back
embedded. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? What is going on right now?
It's just so weird because like it's clearly a joke, right? He didn't actually fire him, but like he doesn't like sell it as like a joke or as like an anti-joke. Like he doesn't lean into either side of it. So you're just like, what's happening?
What just happened?
It's so weird. But then Merab, of course, flips it and makes it hilarious because
Merab. Oh my God, that guy!
So funny.
I think I told you he needs to have his own reality TV show, man.
Yeah,
Merab has got to be one of the funniest fighters in the entire organization. Sometimes I don't think that he tries to be funny. Sometimes he puts some skits together, but like when he threw on what's his name's jacket, Sugar Sean O'Malley's jacket, and he's just standing in the background, like look at him with a smile on his face with his jacket on, dude, jumping up on the crowd or like on the cage. So funny. But what do you think of the fight itself?
Yeah, I thought we both picked Merab, right?
Yep.
Henry's just old, right? He's 37 years old in a young man's division. But his boxing's still really good for MMA, and he cracked Merab in that first round with the left hook. I tried to find a picture of it. There's nothing, but Merab was on skates, just like Whittaker. Yep. He's wobbly, and you're like, oh no. And I was like, if he can just defend the takedowns, and he'll knock out Merab if he can just defend the takedowns. But he couldn't, because Merab had that sick-ass single leg entry to step through on the same side with his right leg. He attacks the lead leg of Cejudo, lifts it up.
Which is easy because he has that wide karate stance that he's never changed, right? That wide karate stance. So he was like, I'll just go for the single leg.
Go for the single leg. It's right there. Lift it up. Step through with your right hand around the side, or right leg around the side, and then kick out from behind his rear leg. And it was beautiful. He did it 3 times, I think. And it's like, you have to get crafty like that against Cejudo. You're not going to just shoot a double leg on him and take him down, right? You have to do something interesting that he doesn't expect. Eventually, he did defend it. But like Cejudo says, MMA wrestling is very different than just straight up wrestling. Defense makes a huge difference. The striking makes a huge difference. It was hilarious to see everybody hates on Aljo for the fight against Cejudo because he ended up in that position, right, in that turtle position. And Cejudo's like, what do I do? And they're like, he should be allowed to knee, which he should. But also, you can attack chokes. You can circle around the back. You can do a bunch of stuff. And then we ended up in that position in this fight. But it was Cejudo in the turtle position. Stalling. And Merab had the front headlock.
That trip right there.
Yeah, it was beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. He hit it like 3 times. But then after he survived that kind of wobbly moment, it was just all gas, no brakes, classic Merab, like a fucking Opel Astra. And here's that position. And then while he's in this position, he kisses him on the back and he's yelling stuff at Zuckerberg, who's cage side.
So I had to funny, man. Look at he's legit laughing. And then, to your point, he kisses him on the shoulder and he lets him up. And then he pats him on the head.
On the head, dude. So patronizing, dude.
Who does that to Triple C? Oh, my God.
Do you think Zuckerberg liked being the center of attention for a second there?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's look at the next picture.
For a second? What are you talking about for a second? Look at
He loved it.
He was having
everybody loved it. Look at everybody back there.
It looks like he's having a lifetime of a lifetime there, dude. You know what I mean?
He is. And look at Hunter. Hunter's just like, I can make money off of this.
Merab yelling at Zuck to accept his friend request.
So funny, dude. And then in the 3rd round, he does get that takedown up against the fence. He lifts up Cejudo and walks across all the way to Zuckerberg and drops him onto Zuckerberg. It was just so funny, dude. The fact that he can do that
was entertaining.
He does stuff like this against like legitimate great fighters like Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo. Like the fact that he's able to do stuff like this mid-fight is just crazy, dude. Look at him trying to give a handshake to Zuck, and they're like, "You don't get to leave." He's. I'm surprised they stopped him from climbing over. I'm surprised anybody could physically.
It's just so hilarious, man.
Dude, when he gets on a roll,
he's ragdolling him. He's doing whatever he wants with him. From the 2nd round on, it was all Merab, not even close. And this is to one of the best fighters to ever do it in this weight division.
Specifically, one of the best wrestlers.
Insane.
You know, he beat him at his own game bad. And and then you let him have the mic, and it's like, all right, we're gonna be here all damn night. Because he is just like in the fight, dude. He's a mile a minute. He's got a lot to say.
Chatty Cathy.
He's like, Aljo's my best friend. I love him. He's my brother. Like, what?
Aljo's like, I did. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, same.
But yeah, fantastic. So Henry takes his gloves off. Now,
and the UFC's like, I don't give a fuck. We hate this guy. He already retired once. Dana said in the post-fight press conference, he's already had a retirement. He doesn't need a second one. You're like, damn, dude. It's pay-per-view. It's not like we need a run. Like, there's no run time to catch at the end. You know, like
I saw him in the background. Right, they're working on taking his gloves off, and I was like, "Oh, here he comes! Here comes the Henry announcing to the world that he's not here for retirement. Top 10 fights. He's here to, compete for the title. And now that he can't compete for the title, he's gone, right? And no, instead, Merab goes on a 5-minute rant.
Dude. Yeah, it's like, look, I'm not a huge Henry Cejudo fan, but you give him the moment. You know, he was a champ. Give him the moment. He already retired once. Who cares? So many fighters retired. Conor was retired. We're not going to let him have a speech at the end of his fight when he loses next.
Oh, no. He's going to have an entire special, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a separate pay-per-view special that you have to pay for after the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Ganscott says, for how much I hate Zuck, he's a real MMA fan. Yeah, 100%. Walked out with Volk, jamming to the music, didn't know whose hand it. He's like, oh, I take something. I don't know. Funny clip.
The ref or the comment was like, handing stuff over to the team, and like Zucker
he was like,
for
"I'll take
it,
one."
like 3 times, and there was like,
Brutal,
nah,
dude.
come on, get out of here.
Brutal.
So funny.
He's like, "I'll carry something," and brutal, man. Because you know Zuckerberg is one of those guys who's like very aware that people are looking at him and is trying to act normal and just be chill. So he's like, "I'll grab some," and in his mind he's like, "Fuck, dude, I'm on camera. That some people are gonna see that." It's just like the sunblock when I was fucking wakeboarding. Omar says Cejudo broken forearm swelling up, looking like Quagmire discovering internet porn. Yeah, that was another thing. There was that that kick that came up that he blocked with his forearm. It had to have been that one because
so was it legit? Did it break?
I don't know if it was broken. I haven't seen anything post fight about it, but it swelled up bad. So I would imagine there's like a fracture or something. Brutal.
All right. We can move on, man. Props to Merab Dvalishvili, though. Henry Cejudo was fun while it lasted. But yeah, Merab, we both predicted he would end the year with a title, right?
It's looking that way, huh?
So we might have
a bad matchup for O'Malley, dude.
Very bad matchup for anybody.
But we've seen him get clipped coming in like that. So if O'Malley can clip him, I could see that happening. I would not be surprised if O'Malley clips him and shuts him off. But I think the most likely scenario is that he does close the distance, and once he closes it once, it's really hard to shift the momentum against Merab. Have we ever seen anybody shift the momentum against him? Has he lost a third round before?
What was the fight? Remember where he was almost out.
Marlon Moraes.
And people were calling it the comeback of the year. That's what it was, right? Against Marlon Moraes. And then he just turns it on, man.
Dude. It's crazy.
So no matter how hurt you think you have him, he still has that 6th gear that other people just don't have.
Maybe 7th, dude. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, man. They're
like, what? Right. They're like, what does he do? Is he all this stuff? It's like everybody online is like, yeah, EPO. But this was like, I asked and they said he just works really hard. It's like, oh, the classic where he works very hard.
All right, man. Here
Vladimir, shout out. Vladimir says, here's a fact many Western people don't know. Volk has been knocked out by 2 guys that are ethnically 50 miles apart. Volk nemesis is the Caucasus Mountain region. Yeah, man. That's tough.
We've determined that there's a specific area on the map. Yeah, if they land in that area, Volk's going down.
He's going down.
Hey, those are the things that, again, when our listeners join us or chatting with us live, the things we just don't think about,
It's true. It's true.
I like it.
Shout out Vladimir.
All right. Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov, the Russian Chase Hooper. Some say Will 3.0 and when he was in high school. But yes, what do you think going into this fight?
Yeah, real quick. Shout out Keith. What's up, Keith, in the chat?
Hey, what up, Keith?
Look, I picked Kopylov. I thought I liked him as an underdog. I specifically said he's going to defend the takedown. He's going to knock him out. And that first round looked like I was on the money because he defended like 10 takedowns. I think 9 official takedowns he defended in that first round, and he was lighting him up. That his southpaw body kick is fucking beautiful, dude. Where he steps straight through for his lead leg outside, and he just comes up with that body kick. It's so good, and it looked like he hurt Anthony a couple times with it. But Anthony's just like, I'm a gamer. I don't give a fuck, dude. And like much like Merab, dude, you're going to have to catch him and put him out because he is relentless. His cardio is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Has Fluffy lost in the UFC yet? Let me see. He did. He lost against Kevin Holland.
Okay. And it was body shot, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. So he lost Marcus Perez 2019 to an anaconda choke, beats Jung Young Park, then loses to Kevin Holland, but then beats Rodolfo Vieira via arm and guillotine choke. And he's been on a tear since.
That fight there was what put everybody on Anthony Hernandez notice. They were like, holy shit, he subbed Rodolfo Vieira. And it was crazy. That was a crazy fight. Yeah. And he's only won a decision once during that.
Man.
He's got arm and guillotine, arm triangle, ground and pound, rear naked choke. I mean, just beautiful take that. Just again, I'm gonna harp on the fucking Craig Jones thing again, but his ability to like we talked about with the Merab Cejudo fight, you go for the single leg because it's easier to grab the single leg than it is to get both hands around on a double leg when the rear leg is so far behind. So you get that single leg and just drive him into the fence because then you can just pull him back, shoot him back into the fence. And eventually what got him the takedown was exactly that. He drove him back into the fence. It pushed his legs close together because if you're defending the takedown on the fence, you want your legs spread apart so they can't grasp their hands. But instead, he drives him back into the fence. And on doing that, he pushes his leg that he has into his other leg, which allows him to then readjust for the double leg, takes him down, takes his back, sinks in the choke. Kopylov somehow survives it, pulls the hand down, and then he switches, gets to another rear naked choke, and then he's laughing and he's smiling. And he
reminds me of Nate Diaz.
Like that, dude. Yeah. Anytime someone gets a submission and they're like, I fucking got this. Look at this picture. Look at him.
But what you can't see on yours when he's nodding, he's like, yeah. Buddy.
Yeah,
so good.
It's sick, dude.
Oh, poor Kopylov. Look at that picture.
Yeah,
He's
Omar
like,
says
no.
Kopylov slipping cost him the fight, had great takedown defense and kicks. Yeah, man. I mean, this was a very good fight. I really liked both their stocks go up, in my opinion. It was a fun fight.
Yes. Keith saying,
says,
hey, another news. He gained a belt winner for 2024. Did he pick Topuria?
He must have, yeah.
He must
have it up, but he must have.
The person, or no, two people that were happy with Topuria's one. That'd be Ganscow and Keith.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been devastated since last night.
Everyone's depressed.
Yeah. Hey, good call though by Keith and Ganscow.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this fight? I think this is going to be the last fight we're going to cover, right, from the UFC.
No, we have one more to cover. We're gonna do
Lemos versus Dern, of course.
Yeah, Lemos versus Mackenzie.
How can I forget? Okay, so look, we've been talking about the loss of Jason Perillo for the last couple fights from Mackenzie Dern. Her striking, I feel like, has taken a step back.
Yep.
Since the loss of Perillo, dude, I think that this is going to be one of those instances where we see a career that never reaches its full potential because she just needs a different team, man.
Yeah, 100%.
She needs a different team, and I'm talking get rid of your pops. I'm talking get rid of everybody else in that corner. Find a team and say, hey, mold me. Right? Like I've got my jiu-jitsu down, but let's continue expanding on my game because the whole thing of her blitzing with her head down and her eyes closed to close the distance, and she gets caught over and over and over again. It's not working. It hasn't worked.
And she clearly, I don't know if she's just not sparring enough or something, but she does not like getting hit. Obviously, nobody likes getting hit, but people can at least stay in their stance when they get hit and stay composed. But, dude, there's times where she completely just turns around.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you can't do that in the UFC.
Turned around, put her arm up to kind of, because she was closing her eyes and, like, opening her eyes and pushing away.
Running
was
away
not a good
with her
look.
hands out. Yeah. That being said.
Look, does she still have some of the prettiest eyes in the UFC? Maybe. But look, dude. Yeah. Look, you
can't tell when they're swollen.
In this division, right? I know it's the women's division, but you still go up against some women that can absolutely hit like a truck.
Like
maybe,
Lemos.
Yes, like Lemos.
Like Andrade.
So exactly. Look at this. This is a picture of her walking away as she's getting bombs from Brazil landed on the back of her head.
And this is the one that dropped her. And when she dropped from this punch, she was holding her face, saying something. You can see her mouth moving. And she just starts bicycle kicking her legs like this on the ground. And I'm like, dude, this girl's just in pain. That's just her in pain. And she's not. That being said, she survived it. And she won the third round.
Oh, my God, dude.
I mean,
she's tough.
Nobody
can take that away from her.
She's tough as nails.
But if that's all we can continue talking about for the last 3 fights is your toughness, there's something wrong.
There's something wrong. And it's like proving your toughness by getting through these crazy moments is one thing. But proving your toughness by being composed in those moments is another. And she's not composed. Anonymous says someone on Reddit called her the favela Halle Berry. Classic.
Oh, my God.
It's perfect, though, because they were both rocking that same haircut for a while, huh?
That's so good.
And people are like, Halle Berry, what? If she's like all around the UFC all the time. It's such a weird, like, why is Halle Berry so like closely associated? But she won the third round. She landed a big punch in the third round. She took her down early. I think she climbed up, got the guillotine to drag her down. There was some good stuff in that third round. expert grappling, going for late, trying to get the finish, clearly trying to get a finish.
100%.
She wasn't just like laying on top and like, I can secure this, because what Ganskow's saying is he had the fight 28-28. I'm assuming first round Dern, third round Dern, second round 10-8, which is an arguable scorecard here. But
I had it 2-1 for Lemos.
I had Lemos winning round 1 just because I thought the damage in the first half of the round outweighed the grappling from Dern in the second half of the round, because it was literally the midpoint of the round. Dern got on the ground and was working on the ground.
I got into it with somebody, and I usually don't engage on social media, okay? But somebody was like,
engagement.
I was like, this person was like, anybody with 2 eyes could have seen Dern win that first fight. And I was like, what'd she do,
first
man?
round.
Or that first round, yeah, sorry. She got the takedown, sure. She ate some big shots already that first round. She blitzed in, ate some shots when she blitzed in. She got that takedown, and there was a lot of battling for position. She was trying to set up some submissions, right? But again, somebody in that corner with enough time left has to say, hey, start landing some elbows, start landing some ground and pound.
That would have
start doing some damage, because yes, then she would have won that first round, right?
Because I think the first round is arguable. I do see someone scoring it for Dern, because effective grappling is important, right? But damage, I thought Lemos's damage in the first half of the round did outweigh the grappling effectiveness of Dern. And if she mixed in some damage with her grappling effectiveness, that would have been a case closed, easy decision.
100%.
You know?
So this other person comes back and says, yeah, but if we're talking about damage, then, she actually landed more strikes that first round.
It's not about
Dern, but it wasn't just that. Lemos actually had 11 significant strikes to Dern's 8 that first round. So either way,
it's
like,
still
if
wrong.
we're talking about significant strikes, amount of significant strikes, Lemos takes it. If we're talking about damage, Lemos takes that first round. Dern had a perfect opportunity to seal that first round, and she didn't take it. She probably thought, I'll be able to get another takedown in the second round, and I'll pick up where I left off, and I'll be able to. Oh my God. It was so frustrating.
It was a good fight. Not one judge scored that second round to 10-8, which is insane to me. I thought that was a pretty much as clear as it gets 10-8 round. But yeah, Dern celebrating like she won when they called out Lemos was interesting.
Rough. That was rough.
They call out Amanda Lemos.
Amanda?
Put her hands up. Yeah, and that doesn't sound like Mackenzie. Mackenzie throws her arms up, yells, and runs off excited, and then to never be seen again. Just ran off into the crowd. I don't know where she went, but Key said takedown score when you do inflict damage or sub attempts. Nothing really happened on the takedown. Yeah.
Rough.
Like I said, I can see scoring that first round for Dern. I just personally didn't.
Yep.
But it won fight of the night, so fucking congrats.
Good for her. Now she has some more money to give over for that child support she always complains about, huh?
Yeah.
Good for her, dude. All right. I think that was the last fight we're going to cover for the UFC, so we should have a moment of silence still.
Oh, real quick, too. Wanderlei Silva got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Shout out Wanderlei.
Props.
What a fucking legend, dude. And he's out there meeting with Rampage and Chuck and Dan Hendo. Like, fucking cool, dude.
All the legends.
Cool. Like I said,
I know that was awesome.
I finally totally legally made copies of all my Pride DVDs that I owned and have now a library of all Pride fights of all time. And I've been watching some of that stuff, and it's been fucking cool. And the fact that this happened it was cool.
Dude, he looks good too, man. Look at him. He looks healthy. He looks good.
Looks happy. Look at those fucking teeth, huh?
He always reminded me of Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
I see it.
Terrifying. All right. Moment of silence.
Moment of silence for the fights we lost. Real quick, Danny Barlow. Shout out Danny Barlow. Looks like a fucking world beater. He's so young. That is someone that everybody should be watching. I think he is incredible. He got a very fun fight. Let's see. He was supposed to fight somebody. That didn't happen. DeLima was supposed to fight Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa injured his knee on Wednesday. Couldn't make it to the fight, so Junior steps in, and then DeLima injures Junior's knee. So now they're both rehabbing their knees together. Anthony Hernandez was originally supposed to fight Ikram Aliskerov, which would have been really fucking good, but instead he got my boy Kopylov and ran through him, so it's all good. Taito Vasa was supposed to be on here. That got rescheduled versus Tybura. Tatiana Suarez was originally supposed to fight Lemos. Would have got a title fight off of that. Kenzie Dern steps in on short notice, gets her shit rocked. Rinya Nakamura That is my boy. Was supposed to fight Brady Highstand instead. Highstand withdrew, so he fought Carlos Vera, who's a Ryan Hall guy, and they had a fun fight. I actually really liked it. A lot of people hated it.
It was a fun
I thought
fight.
it was fun. But Rinya is someone to watch as well. AJ Dobbs was supposed to fight Trishan Gore, and everybody was happy that fight fell through because that was going to be awful. There's a moment of silence.
Ganskow says Chill versus Wanderlei for UFC 300. Oh my
You'll
God.
take Pereira versus Hill, and you'll be happy.
One
Fight that
of the
everybody
best
wanted.
TV moments ever, though. He's like,
Yeah,
I can't let you get close.
yeah. One of
The
them.
little scuffle.
Yeah.
All right. And then after that, bonuses.
Bonuses. What do we have here? We had Zhang Minyang got a bonus for his 1, 2, 3 knockout. Was fucking awesome. That's somebody
Beautiful
also
combo.
to watch. Very good fight. Fun fight. That got a bonus. Keith's leaving before we even talk about one. Shout out Keith. What else? Who else got a bonus? Fluffy got a bonus for his rear naked choke on Kopylov. And I think the next one, Ilia Topuria got a bonus for knocking out my boy. And then fight of the night was Lemos versus Dern. Again, never a picture you want to have of yourself in a fight, turning backwards or whatever position this is in. Not good, but they got bonuses. So
shout out Keith says Powhatan also training with Steven Seagal. Hey, dude, you thought he was dangerous before. Dude, just wait, man. Powhatan with some of that Aikido, come on.
Yeah, why block across the correct way when you can just try to turn your whole elbow out, leave your body exposed, and then elbow away the punch? That'll work for sure in a real fight.
Hey, just wait, dude. Just wait till we see
he's gonna get a finish off of that block.
And he's like, just chops him on the neck, and Hill just drops. Dude, I can't wait.
And then around. You're like,
wait, whatever happens, and Powhatan, I think I'm leaning Powhatan in this fight.
Yeah, 100%.
But he knocks out
Hill.
Hill.
He has 2 Achilles.
You know who's gonna pop up and be like, I trained with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I taught him how to do that. I can't wait. All right.
Love to see it.
So that was it for UFC 298.
Cover, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, we're gonna be covering one Fight Night 19 now. Ooh, look at the background changes. Everything goes to black and gold. I absolutely love it. I forgot to put my one shirt on. This would have been a good time to be like,
got my Oakland hat on. That looks
this is the second event we're covering. Second event, everybody, which is awesome. Can't wait. Oh, no balloons came up. But all right.
Oh, we never did the
UFC Fight Night 19. Time to go here. We had Jonathan Haggerty versus Felipe
19.
Lobo. One Fight Night 19. Sorry.
Let's reintroduce it real quick so we have the easy cut for Rich. This is One Fight Night 19.
One Fight Night
Jonathan Haggerty
19.
versus Felipe Lobo. That's where this clip will start. Look, when one puts together these fights with like the best strikers in the world, it seems like they always deliver. A lot of times we get this guy's the best versus this guy's the best, and then it doesn't deliver, right? Not with one. Super leg to Care, super leg Rod Tang, super bond to Tawan Chai, super bond Chingiz Alazov. They always deliver. We have Haggerty versus Lobo, and it's a fucking fight for the ages. This was incredible. Dude, it was so good.
Look, man, for me, it's getting so hard to beat Muay Thai with the 4-ounce gloves.
Dude, it's
there is
crazy.
Nothing better in MMA than Muay Thai with the 4-ounce gloves, dude.
And look how much it wakes up the crowd. Genevieve says, woo, let's go. Ganska says, Haggerty fight was a banger. Keith says, oh, damn, not leaving yet. Anyone here from the One Watch Party? Dude, it's provocative. It gets the people going.
4-ounce Muay Thai, Will Ferrell drop, dude. Phenomenal Will Ferrell drop. I like it. But yeah, so we had Haggerty versus Lobo, man. The first round was insane.
Dude,
absolute madness.
Like, the past few Haggerty fights, he's just dispatched people. He's just ran through them with vicious combinations. That push kick to the body sets him up because now they're on the retreat and he just runs at him, closes that distance that he created and just blitzes him and drops him and then drops him again and then drops him again. And you're like, this guy's a fucking world beater. And then Lobo is like, check out these body shots, huh?
The body shots, man.
Oh
just
my
God. Boom, boom. And then you have Haggerty retreating with his high guard still because he's like, well, he's hitting me to the body, but I don't want him to come up with anything. So he keeps on retreating back. And he's like, all right, dude, if you want to keep on leaving your body exposed, I'll just eat away your ribs and liver, dude. It was insane. Hard shots, man.
Anonymous says early stoppage. Lobo should have been given a full count. I've seen guys in worse shapes on Friday fights and make a comeback. Yes, but then there was a video after the stoppage that I saw at ringside of him trying to stay upright. And I was like, never mind. That was a good stoppage. Dude was not there anymore.
Plus, it's Olivier Costa, man.
Yeah, he's a boss.
He's a boss, dude.
But he's like, body shots, body shots. Eventually, Haggerty's like, okay, I need to start curling a little bit. And then he's like, cool, I'll just hit you in the temples now. Your chin's and your jawline's covered, but check out these temple shots. And Haggerty has to sit on the ropes, and they give him a count. And you're like, holy shit. Is Lobo about to dispatch the guy who dispatches people? And then Haggerty, somehow, he's on his back foot, and Lobo's landing big shots. And then Haggerty's shelling up, and then he's like, I'm going to start throwing back. And he lands some beautiful shots of his own. And it's pure chaos. Ray Flores on the commentary, by the way, absolutely fantastic. He was so good on the call this fight. Because, I mean, there's no moment to podcast or talk about, oh, you can't talk about anything other than immediately what's happening. And he was just shouting over Lumpini and just makes the fight so much more epic because they're trading these shots. Haggerty goes down. Haggerty comes back. He drops Lobo. He drops Lobo with a sick little left hook. He throws a spinning back elbow, uppercut to left hook, and drops him. And you're like, this is fucking amazing. And then the third round, he just that step in overhand right as Lobo tries to jump in with a leaping left hook. And it sounds like a light breaks in the venue. He cracks him hard, and that's it.
That was so tough too, man, because I almost like could see the excitement in Lobo's face because when he's gonna throw the hook, like he doesn't throw it from up here, like he drops it to cock it back, and when he drops and he's coming up, that's when he gets caught. And I'm like, oh no, he saw an opening, and he's like, oh, here it comes, and he gets dropped, man. So, but man, it was just madness for 3 rounds.
You want to see some of it?
Oh, why not? Please.
Let's instead of listening to us,
look at this picture of Olivier Costa too in the background. Do you see that?
We go back, dude. I love this picture. Dude. And Haggerty just because Haggerty had to dig deep for this one. It's been a long time since he's been hurt, and Rodtang hurt him to the body. So Lobo was probably like, these body shots are it, right? Shout out Ganskow. Was a solid card, but the morning one card may have been even better than the night card. Dude, there was one specific fight on the Friday fights that was absolutely incredible. Which we're not going to have time. We're already an hour in, but to see Haggerty go through those moments of adversity and then score those knockdowns and just roar, it's so primal to come back from those dark moments and then flip the tables and finish the guy. It's fucking incredible, dude.
So good, man.
Let me pull up the clips because look, we can talk about it, but watching it really does. It's just amazing. And look at
shout out to one once again for letting us show these clips, man.
Yeah, and let me make sure the volume's not super loud. All right, let's see some of this. And shout out to one for just putting this on YouTube.
Yeah, for real. Look at these combos, shots to the body.
Oh, and the left hook by Haggerty.
Step in elbow,
spinning back elbow.
Back elbow.
This is the first round.
Nonstop action. Oh my god. Okay, he's sitting on the ropes and Lobo's like,
yeah,
cool, dude. Tee him up.
Yeah.
Teeing it up for me.
I'm landing shots till you pull me off of him.
Oh my god, so good.
And you're like, is he about to get dropped? And Haggerty goes forward after that. And he's throwing these elbows. And now we're in the second round here. And again, those body shots from Lobo. And a right hand from Haggerty. I mean, just back and forth, dude. Swinging and banging, but it's still super technical.
Nice and the footwork from Haggerty. Like, there's been a couple times where, like, switches stances really fast, leads with that right, and then comes in with that left. So good.
Yeah, and now he hurts Lobo with the right hand. And another one. And the left hook hurts him. And you're just like, what is this fight, dude? This is crazy.
I think this is where I text you, too, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So
I said, this is what
man.
Legends are made of or some stupid shit like that. And look at this
one of the like lines that Ilia Topuria would have used.
Yeah. And then here's the uppercut, and then left hook, bam, drops him.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, wow, dude, we're in this now. A knockdown apiece. Anonymous says Lobo did much better than anyone expected. 100%. 100%.
Hey, shout out
Look at Haggerty just chasing him down after the first knockdown. Yeah, shout out Coleslaw out there.
Man, look, another spinning back elbow.
Lobo says, I don't give a
Lobo
fuck.
says, bring it.
Yeah.
And like, see, this is the thing too, man. Like, you see punches and kicks slow down just a little bit, like things become a little more labored, but it's still like high intensity.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
The uppercut from
Nice
Haggerty
stepping
was really
uppercut.
nice.
Yeah.
There it is again.
Nice read he was making, right?
Yeah, but then a big left hook. That was the left hook from Lobo that he thought he was going to land in the third round. And here he is. He's got Haggerty hurt again, backing him into the corner.
This is still in the second round, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is still one round, dude. And then Haggerty turns him into the corner.
Oh,
big elbow.
And I love how they take
like,
1 second, and Olivier Costa is like, choke.
Yeah.
Fight. Come on, let's go, guys.
There's the big right hand. That's what puts him down. And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, when he turns and your face bounces off the canvas like that, when you try to stand up. Whew.
I mean,
right now my heart's already racing.
I know, me too.
I already watch this.
Blunderbub says, lots of people say they have that dog in them, but it's different to watch someone pull it out in the moment when the win is in doubt like this. Every time he got hurt, he turned into a damn animal. 100%.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Couldn't have said it better. There's also shout out the one Instagram, because there's some sick ass clips from like cage side or ringside, I should say. While I pull this up, you want to read that comment from Genevieve?
Yeah, Genevieve says, I think I said in the Discord chat, but Haggerty's biggest advantage is that he actually keeps his hands up like a traditional boxer, not like a Muay Thai fighter. That high guard.
Yeah, I can see that, because a lot of Muay Thai fighters do that framing, right? And they hide their chin and their jaw with their shoulders, which doesn't work as well with the 4-ounce gloves, right? But check out this this ringside clip, huh? Shout out One's Instagram. Let me actually pull it back again.
Oh, there you go. Was the same combo from was it from the first round? Or was the second round? Stepping elbow was a thing of beauty too.
And then here's the knockdown finish.
Oh man, the sound. And this is where the face plant. Yeah. It was good stoppage, I think. He's out of it.
He's out of it.
Yeah.
It's tough. I've seen look, you could argue you could have let him keep going, but the flip side of this is Haggerty versus Nongo, where just because he kept getting back up doesn't necessarily mean the fight should continue, because we saw Nongo.
You were talking to Olivier Costa, right, after the fight?
Yeah, what did he tell me? Let me pull it up, actually.
I think this would be a good opportunity.
Discord chat. Ganscout, hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to get you into that. But yeah, Olivier, I messaged him and he was like, I was like, dude, what is it like in a fight like that? Are you just so focused on, I said, when you're in a fight, or in there for a fight as insane as that Haggerty fight was, are you able to recognize just how incredible the fight is? Or are you just so focused on officiating that it doesn't really register until after the fact? And he said, bro, to me, I focus on the action and make sure that I always have make the right call. But in this one, during the fight, I was like, fuck, that's insanity.
So good, man. Shout out Olivier Costa, man.
Yeah, super good. Olivier's awesome.
Oh,
cool guy.
All right. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, that's probably enough for the Haggerty Lobo fight. But if anybody hasn't watched that fight, I mean, we watched most of it here. Shout out One for putting it on YouTube, but fucking incredible. I've watched it like 3 times now. It's so good. So good.
Awesome, man. All right. We had Saemapetch versus Rabah as well.
Yeah, this one, there was some bad blood, right? Because Mohamed, Younes, Rabah, they fought originally like a month ago, maybe a little bit before that. It seems recent, right? And Saemapetch hits him with that step back counter, drops him. But then Rabah knocks him down. And then on the finish, he drops him. And while Saemapetch is on the ground, he throws a knee and it lands flush. And they call the fight. And it was like, that was clearly illegal.
Illegal knee, yeah.
Shout out to Mohamed Rabah's coach for DMing me after the fact, because I talked shit about it on Instagram. And then he was like, you know what, you're right. I respect you. And I was like, oh, thank you. But, since then, I think Rabah has really carried himself well, because he missed weight for that first fight, and then the illegal knee. And then he was like shushing the crowd, and it was like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But then it's like, he he missed weight because he took the fight on like 4 days notice. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with that, right? Here he makes weight. They're very respectful with each other the whole time. There was a little bit of bad blood, right, just because of the outcome of the first one, but it didn't seem like they like hated each other or anything like that. I thought he carried himself really well, and he actually came across incredibly likable to me. But Saemapetch was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not leaving any doubt because I'm just going to come through and storm through you. Last time he fought on the back foot and he got that knockdown, but then eventually fighting off the back foot is what got him the loss. And this fight, he didn't take one step back. Not one. It was nasty.
Lightning fast left hand.
Dude, which time? Just every time? Because
over every single time.
Yeah.
And I put down, it does, because Rabah has a size advantage, right? He's super lanky. It could be hard to close a distance. And on my notes, I specifically put, I guess it doesn't matter when you have a lightning fast left hand like that. You don't have to wonder how you're going to close a distance. You're like, let me just step in. And before he can retaliate, before he can counter, my left hand's going to meet his face every single time.
Yeah. And Genevieve says, I still think he threw this fight to wipe the slate clean from that knee. He just didn't look like he was trying it all this time. I think there's a combination of two things. I don't think he threw the fight, but I do think, first off, I don't know if he expected Saemapetch to storm forward like that, considering the first time they fought, it was the exact opposite. And that took him by surprise. And when the first time he got caught, I think he was kind of compromised since then. The second thing is, shout out Nick Atkin. If you don't follow Nick Atkin, follow Nick Atkin. But he talked to him before and after the fight and said that Rabah was pretty sick the week leading up to it and was like, had like a stomach virus or something leading up to the fight. And that might also contribute to what looked like a lack of trying, might just be that his body was fucked.
Yeah.
And but who knows? That's always,
going in.
That's stuff, said after the fact. You never really know exactly how accurate it is. It could just be an excuse, all that stuff. But I do want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's watch some of these knockdowns. And I like to see the respect after, because there's a bad blood fight. Seeing the respect after is always cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see some of these highlights, huh?
Is this a left hand that I was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he steps in.
The cheeky kick.
Yeah,
he's like, you want
dude.
to knee me on the ground?
It looked like he held back though.
Yeah, he did. He pulled back. Yeah. Damn.
There's that left again. So dangerous, man. Yeah, the way that Rabah looked around was kind of like, man, I really don't want to be here right now.
And then big shots there, big right hand around the guard, and then that left again goes through. And you could tell Saemapetch is just kind of holding him up. And as soon as Saemapetch disengages, he falls down. And you're like, ooh. And when he got back up, I couldn't see a picture of it, but his forehead was fucked. I don't know what happened, if it was from the face plant or what, but it was like, oh no.
Yeah, that knot he had.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Brutal.
But yeah, I mean, if you had a stomach virus, man, and you're going in there and you're taking shots to the body like that too, your only focus probably like making sure you don't shit your shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah,
guy.
Anonymous Keith says, okay, gents, I better get gone, or I'll be doing groceries with an angry wife. Shout out Keith.
Hey, shout out Keith, man.
Anonymous says Rabah was like 2 pounds overweight, then suddenly made weight at the last minute, probably had a brutal weight cut. Yeah, that's another thing. Nick said that the being sick with the weight cut was really hard for him. So
good point by Anonymous.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a third one, huh? I don't know.
All right. We're also going to be covering, let me see here, Abasolo versus Lessei.
Luke Lessei, yeah. The chef.
Yeah.
And
is it Lessei? Because I kept on hearing him say Lessei yesterday too.
I think it's Lessei. But dude, when they announced this fight, I was like, holy shit. I'll pay just to watch this fight, because Abasolo has been in nothing but bangers. His nickname, Silky Smooth, is perfect. The guy is incredible to watch. And then Luke is a fucking dog. His fight with Smokin' Joe Nadawat, if you haven't seen that, find it somewhere and watch it, because it was a dog fight. And so when they matched this up, I was like, dude, that's like a main event level fight. And they had it like 5th on the card. I was like, this is crazy. First round, trading leg kicks, feeling each other out a little bit. Second round, dog fight. Luke knocks down Abasolo, and I was like, oh no, because I like Abasolo. There's like connection there too, but I like both of them. But then he gets up, they start trading, and he drops Luke, and it looks like when Lawler dropped Rory McDonald at the end of their fight, where he like hits him with a straight and he kind of like crumbles down instead of like a knockdown.
Delayed.
And I was like,
It's
oh
delayed.
no, yeah, it was delayed. And I was like, this might be it. But then Luke just gets up and they start swinging and banging again. It was awesome. What a fun fight.
Dude, Abasolo, because I'm still fairly new to one, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm still getting used to all these names and getting used to all these fighters. Of course, you have Superlek, Rotang, you have Stamp, which are all the ones that are just superstars already within the organization. Mikey Musumeci, by the way, one of the best Instagrams to follow. But Eddie Abasolo really is a name that has stuck with me because every single fight I've watched of his is an absolute banger, man. Super exciting to watch. Super creative. Now in that first round, he had what was it? It was like a left hook, right kick to the thigh, push kick. Left hook, right kick to the thigh, push kick. And he kept on doing it over and over and over again. I was like, well, if it's working, man.
Yeah. And there's another combo he threw where it was like a jab, outside leg kick, step through right cross off the right leg kick. And it was like, oh, it's money. What a great combo. Luke, I thought, did a really good job using his range with his hands, his reach advantage with his hands. I thought he used that really, really well. And then the end of the fight is just the last 20 seconds. Oh, was my God. They're just swinging and banging. Luke lands a high kick. Eddie finishes with a Superman punch. Like, it was just crazy. These guys were like, I don't want this to go to decision because it was close. They both dropped each other in the second round. It was a close fight. I see a lot of people saying, go ahead.
How good was it, though, where, like, even Olivier Costa was like, oh, I got to do something to stop this now.
Yeah,
he just jumps on top of both of them like a spider monkey and just separates them like that. Dude, he's such a savage.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Also,
the last 10 seconds? Or
No, just some of the clips. But it does have the last 10 seconds, too. But love the respect between the two guys after going through a war like that. All right, let's see here. Man. Super cool lean backs from both guys, too, to evade high kicks.
Matrix style.
Sick sweep from Luke. Nice right hand that drops Abasolo.
Yeah.
I mean, just a
quick recovery from Abasolo, though.
Yeah, from both guys. Really just nice elbows from Luke. Nice elbows from Abasolo.
Saying Abasolo is ripped. These photos look like a painting.
Yeah.
All natty.
One photographers are really good. Hey, how dare you? We can bring that up. Nice uppercut from Luke from Abasolo. There's the left hand.
Oh, there's that delayed. Can you go back real quick on that one? Because I thought it was done too, just with the way that he fell back. I was like, there's no way. No way he's gonna be able to get back up. And look, he just walks off. He's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
One of the most awkward knockdowns. Shots to the body too.
Yeah. That combo right there, dude.
Muay Thai with the 4-ounce gloves. It's almost like they don't have a choice but to go to war.
You have
Muay Thai with 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
Abasolo is my favorite Muay Thai fighter, says Anonymous. I can't believe he's 37?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
What?
So to answer your question, yeah, all natty. Nice left hand. But like, how do you not respect? Look at that
experience you see there.
Luke. Nice right hand and then left hook to the outside leg kick. I really like the way Eddie mixes in the low kicks. It's really cool to watch. And here's the last 30 seconds. Get ready. Damn, right hand by Luke. Slip. High kick.
Oh, wow. High kick.
Superman punch. Left hand.
Like, look at Olivier. So good. Oh, man. What a fight.
Very fun fight. And it's one of those things where, one seems to really reward fighters for having bangers, win or lose. As long as they're in good fights, one's like, we don't even care. You're going to keep getting marquee matchups. We don't care if you're on a losing streak or anything like that. You keep showing out. That's the way to do it there. Anonymous says both these guys should be on the upcoming USA card. 100%. 100%. Look at the respect. Luke gets his hand raised and then gives credit to Eddie. I mean, just very cool. And this could have gone either way, I thought. This is a coin flip.
It was a really, really close fight. Really close fight.
All right. Says this match notable in the fact that Lessei is one of the only fighters I've seen in one actually raise his hands when asked to do so by the ref. Yeah, because when you get dropped and they're like, all right, put your hands up. Most people are just like, all right. And then they just let it go anyways. They never like say they're good. and they let it go anyways. But yeah, respect. George says PFL versus Bellator preview. What we want to just do this all day? Come on, George. We're already an hour and 15 minutes in. We got one more fight to cover. Ganska says loved watching the Americans put on some fire. Muay Thai and Pini. Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah,
cool
absolutely. All right. The last fight we're going to be covering is Martyna versus Wondergirl.
Dude, Martyna versus Kierczyńska. You didn't watch this, huh?
Not yet.
Dude, so we'll watch the clips, but Wondergirl, right? She's a mainstay in one. She's got a big name. She's been struggling lately, though. She fought Zhang Jinan and got rocked. But she's a gamer, dude. And Martyna came in her one debut. She's got Joanna on her team, dude. Jacek, Joanna champion. She's Polish. Dude, her combinations. She's like Merab, but with Joanna combos. Imagine that.
My God.
Instead of wrestling, she's the Muay Thai Merab, basically. Muay Thai Merab. Martyna Muay Thai Merab Kierczyńska. She's a fucking savage, dude. I think one should get the marketing behind her and just promote the hell out of her, because this was a coming out party performance. Just absolutely relentless with her combinations.
And
Crazy.
She's only Muay Thai, right?
Just Muay Thai. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, this is a potentially big star here for one. And I felt bad for Wondergirl, man. She's been struggling and just it's been tough. Genevieve says Martyna is going to be one to keep an eye on for sure. This was a great fight. Poetan's back after training with Steven Seagal. Says, rate my profile pic. Oh, how dare you? It's a sleepy Volk.
What?
How dare you?
Oh, no.
Should have been a picture with you and Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But yeah, just, from the get-go, they start, and Wondergirl's like, I want to start fast. She walks forward and starts throwing a combination, and Martyna was like, I want to start fast too. And they both start trading immediately, but Wondergirl only throws like a 3-punch combination, whereas Martina's like a nine strike combination with mixing in her body kick, mixing in her leg kicks and kicks. She's putting together her hands and her kicks so well, and it's just nonstop. Anonymous says Wondergirl and Supergirl need a whole new team if they're serious about fighting. Yeah, it's been a struggle lately for both of them. It's been a struggle. But we probably don't have to go through all the pictures on this one. You want to just watch some of these combos and become a fan of this girl, because I guarantee you she's going to be a favorite of yours. Oh, God. There's the finish. Oh, man. It's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead
in the fetal position, huh?
Yeah. And no chance but to stop it. You got to stop it. This is the start of the fight. We're 4 seconds in.
Oh, wow.
Nice elbow. Leg kick. I mean,
Knee
Wondergirl's like, what do I even
elbow.
do? Like, what do you even do to this?
Just overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely overwhelming.
I feel overwhelmed right now. I'm not even in there with her.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Look at her, dude, and mixing in these kicks with her punches.
5-punch combo followed up by body. What is going on?
It's crazy, dude. And then knees.
Oh, my God.
Oh, the body kick. You hear the smack on it.
Wow.
I mean, Wondergirl's just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, she looked exhausted, too.
Yeah.
Probably just from getting beat up.
Those body
shots to the body right there. She
body
just goes up. Yeah. Olivia's like, should I not? Yeah, okay. What a little monster.
Dude, like I said, get the hype train behind her. Put her on all the promotional material. It's crazy. Anonymous says she reminds me of Nisa Mexon with those combos. Dude, Mexon's so good. And yeah, she's just over and over and over and over body kick. You think that most people, they throw like a 4-punch combination, finish it with a body or a kick, and you're like, that's how you finish the combination. That's like the comma in her combination to then go to more punches. It's crazy. I was watching that just like, holy shit, dude, they have a star. And then they give her the bonus at the end. And you're just like, this is amazing. She's incredible. Come on.
Wow.
I think there's a picture of her getting the bonus. Did I put a picture in there, Rich, of her getting the bonus? This is what's going to win you over completely here.
That was amazing.
There you go.
Oh, look at her. She's
Ramiro's
so
new favorite fighter.
Look at her. She seems so happy, like genuinely happy. She's like, oh, thank you for the 50K.
And I think that's all we're going to cover for one. Shout out Thong Poon for getting to get the card started with a sick ass 3 knockdown finish in the first round. Just left straight. It was awesome.
Money.
But yeah, fun events, dude. What a good weekend for fights. Just a good weekend for fights, huh?
It was a lot of fun. We needed
Yeah.
this, man. It had been a minute since we had like a really solid event from the UFC come through at the same time that we had a solid event from One. I feel like all of One's fight nights have been pretty
Very good.
solid. So man, just
who
back
got,
to back.
Yeah, who got bonuses? We got a picture of bonuses.
From
One.
One. There we go.
Dongpoon got one. Saemapetch got one. Haggerty got one. Martyna got one. I would have liked to see Abasolo and Luke both get one for their banger.
Oh yeah, that'd have been amazing.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they did backer locker room bonus or whatever. But yeah, fun card.
All right, man. Well, we covered One Fight Night 19. A lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Poatan, shout out Poatan. And congratulations, by the way, Poatan, on being announced as the headliner for UFC 300, the main event. You deserve it. We had Anonymous join us as well. Genevieve, always a good time. Anthony Ganskow, George, Blunderbub, Keith, Regen, Josh. Yeah,
my mom.
Did I miss anybody? Colleen. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Omar as well. Can't forget Omar. But it's always a lot of fun whenever we get to chat with everybody live. Makes the podcast a lot better. And if this is your first time watching, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. Next week, what do we have going on next week?
I think we got Moreno. No.
Oh,
Yair?
is it?
Oh, yeah. Moreno's on the card, right?
Yeah.
We have a picture of it.
Do
you
we
want to throw that picture up? Yeah. Yeah, Moreno.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Roy Val.
Fight night in Mexico City?
Yeah. Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega. Prado versus El Huber is so fun to watch, dude.
I think it's their first time back in Mexico City since 2019 is what they said.
Damn.
Was it Kane versus Verdun, maybe?
Don't even bring that back up. I think that was,
I know,
that was longer ago, I think. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Tercios. What a funny fight that's going to be.
Oh, boy.
Haggerty versus Hughes is going to be very fun. I really like her. Yasmin, that is. Let's see. Honey Barcelo's still doing the damn thing. Damn. Chairez versus Lacerda. They're doing it again. Let's see. That's a good card. Naima versus
should be a
Eric
fun
Silva.
card.
Oh, Felipe Dos Santos. Oh, shit, dude. That's the boy right there. That's the one that fought on his debut short notice against Manel Kopp. And they had that dogfight. That's somebody to watch. That's his only loss. A short notice lose, or a short notice decision loss to Manel Kopp. That's his only loss. That guy's a savage.
Has Manel Kopp fought yet this year?
No, he was supposed to fight recently against somebody, and he missed weight by 4 pounds. So
That's right. Hilarious.
That's
and then just to answer Poatan's question here, what's next for Volka if he loses a rematch against Ilia Topuria?
I don't know, man. Annick's saying he needs to go up to lightweight. No. Yeah.
No, we don't need to see that. Hang him up. No. Hang him up. Let's hang him up. But yes. All right. Do you have anything else, Will?
Can we bring that picture up real quick? Does Francisco Prado look like I think that's the Argentine flag? Does he look like the Argentinian Drew Dober in that picture or what?
Oh, a little bit. I could see it. Yeah.
Glad I brought the picture back up.
His
doppelganger. That was definitely worth That's stupid.
All right, everybody. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're trying to reach 11,000 subscribers. I think we're up to like 10,300 right now or something.
10,300, yeah.
10,300.
Cool.
And for those folks that don't like watching, but they like listening, where else can they find us, Will?
Yeah, Story of the Fight on everything. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, everything. Twitch, storyofthefight.com. We'll give you all our links. Click through them. They're also in the description of this video. Shout out One for letting us use their footage. Shout out our store on Etsy. Just go to storyofthefight.com.
Shout out our store. So funny.
Shout out Rich.
Hey, shout out our producer, because this podcast is produced by none other than Richard Busso. Say, Rich. Joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.